There is a reason these words found you right now. Maybe you have been feeling tired of your own thoughts, tired of the same doubts repeating again and again in your mind. Maybe a part of you wants to believe in something better, but another part keeps holding you back. If that feels familiar, you are not alone. Many people live with an inner voice that speaks fear, lack, and limitation without even realizing it. And over time, those words start to feel like the truth. But what if the truth is not fixed? What if the voice inside you can be changed gently, slowly, and with love? What if the words you choose to repeat today can shape the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you live your life tomorrow? This is where everything begins. Not outside you, not in the world around you, but within you, in the quiet space of your own mind. Right now, you don't have to force yourself to believe anything. You don't have to pretend that everything is perfect. All you need to do is be open, even just a little. Because the truth is, your mind listens to what you tell it again and again. And over time, it starts to accept those words as real. Even if they feel strange at first, even if they don't match your current reality. Think about it. Every belief you have today was once just a thought you repeated enough times. Every fear, every doubt, every limitation, it didn't appear in one moment. It was built slowly. And in the same way, it can be rebuilt. This means you are not stuck. This means change is possible. This means you can create a new inner voice, one that supports you instead of holding you back. So as you listen to this, allow yourself to relax just a little. You don't need to rush. You don't need to figure everything out right now. Just let these words enter your mind softly and naturally. Even if part of you resists, that's okay. Even if it doesn't feel true yet, that's okay too. Because the goal is not instant belief. The goal is gentle repetition. And with time, something beautiful begins to happen. The words you speak start to feel familiar. Then they start to feel comfortable. And one day, without even noticing, they begin to feel true. Now, let's gently understand something very important. The way you speak to yourself is shaping your life more than you think. There is a voice inside you that talks all day, sometimes quietly, sometimes loudly. It comments on everything you do, everything you feel, and everything you believe about yourself. And over time, you start to accept this voice as the truth, even when it is not kind, even when it is not helping you grow. If your inner voice keeps saying, "I am not good enough," or "nothing works out for me," your mind begins to believe it. And once your mind believes something, it starts to look for proof. It begins to notice only the things that match those words. Slowly, this creates a pattern. You feel stuck, not because life is against you, but because your inner voice keeps repeating the same story. But here is something powerful. This voice is not fixed. It is not who you truly are. It is something you learned over time, and anything learned can be changed. When you start choosing new words, even simple ones, you begin to interrupt that old pattern. At first, it may feel small, like nothing is really happening, but your mind is always listening. Every word you repeat is planting a seed. You don't need to fight your old thoughts. You don't need to silence them completely. Instead, you gently introduce a new voice, a voice that speaks with care, with belief, and with possibility. Over time, this new voice becomes stronger, and the old one slowly fades into the background. This is how change begins, not in big, dramatic moments, but in quiet, repeated words. The way you speak to yourself today is quietly creating your tomorrow. So choose your words with intention, even if they feel new, even if they feel unfamiliar. Because this is where your transformation starts. Now, let's talk about something simple, yet very powerful: repetition. The mind learns through repetition. It does not change in one moment, and it does not shift because of one thought. It changes when something is repeated again and again, gently, patiently, over time. This is how habits are formed, and this is also how beliefs are created. Think about it. The thoughts you have today did not appear overnight. They were repeated many times until they became familiar, and then they became automatic. You didn't even notice when they became a part of you. In the same way, new thoughts can also become a part of you. But they need time, and they need consistency. When you begin to speak new words to yourself, your mind may not accept them right away. It may question them. It may even reject them. But that is okay, because your job is not to force belief. Your job is to repeat. Every time you repeat a new thought, you are gently guiding your mind in a new direction. You are showing it a new possibility. At first, it may feel like nothing is changing, but something is always happening beneath the surface. Just like a seed growing underground, you may not see it, but it is slowly taking shape. And one day, it begins to show. The words you repeat start to feel natural. The resistance becomes weaker. The new thought begins to feel like your own. So don't rush this process. Don't look for quick results. Stay with it, calmly and patiently. Because repetition is not about convincing your mind in one moment. It is about training your mind slowly and surely, until the new truth becomes a part of who you are. Now, it is very important to understand this. It is completely okay if it doesn't feel real yet. When you start speaking new words, your mind may say, "This is not true," or "This is not who I am." You may feel a gap between what you are saying and what you actually feel inside. And that can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like you are pretending, but this is a natural part of the process. Your mind is simply trying to protect what it already knows. It is used to the old thoughts, the old patterns, the old beliefs. So when something new comes in, it feels unfamiliar. And anything unfamiliar can feel wrong at first. But unfamiliar does not mean false. It only means new. You don't need to fight this feeling. You don't need to argue with your mind. Just notice it and gently continue. Let the resistance be there, but don't give it control. Keep speaking your new words softly and consistently. Over time, that uncomfortable feeling will begin to fade. Think of it like learning something new. In the beginning, it feels strange and difficult, but the more you repeat it, the more natural it becomes. Your mind slowly adjusts. It starts to accept what once felt impossible, and what once felt like a lie begins to feel like a possibility, and then, slowly, like the truth. So if it doesn't feel real right now, that's perfectly okay. You are not doing anything wrong. In fact, this is a sign that you are stepping out of your old patterns. Stay with it. Trust the process, because this is exactly how change begins. Now, let's gently understand how your mind begins to change, because rewiring your mind is not something that happens with force. It happens with patience. Your mind is always listening, always learning, and always adapting to what you repeat. Every time you choose a new thought, even a small one, you are creating a new path inside your mind. In the beginning, this path is very light, almost invisible. The old thoughts still feel stronger because they have been repeated for a long time. But each time you repeat your new words, you make this new path a little stronger. You don't need to rush it. You don't need to push yourself too hard. Just stay gentle with yourself and keep going. Your mind does not respond well to pressure or fear. It responds to calm, to repetition, and to consistency. When you speak to yourself in a soft and steady way, your mind slowly begins to relax. It becomes more open. It starts to accept new ideas without resistance. And this is where real change begins to happen. Over time, the new thoughts begin to feel more natural. You may notice small shifts, the way you react, the way you think, the way you feel about yourself. These changes may seem small at first, but they are powerful. They show that your mind is slowly rewiring itself. So allow this process to be easy. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to believe everything right away. Just keep choosing your words with care and repeat them with patience. Because every time you do, you are gently shaping a new version of yourself, one thought at a time. Now, let's talk about something that many people struggle with: letting go of old patterns. These patterns are not just thoughts, they are habits that have been repeated for a long time. They feel familiar, even when they don't feel good. So when you try to change, it may feel like those old thoughts keep coming back again and again. But here is something important to understand. You don't need to force those old thoughts to disappear. You don't need to fight them or push them away. The more you fight them, the more attention you give them. And whatever you give attention to becomes stronger. Instead, you can choose a different approach. You can simply notice the old thought and then gently return to your new words. Think of it like this: your old patterns are like a path you have walked many times. It is clear, it is easy, and your mind goes there without thinking. Your new thoughts are like a new path. At first, it is not clear. It takes effort to walk on it. But every time you choose it, you make it stronger, and every time you return to it, the old path becomes a little weaker. So when an old thought appears, don't feel discouraged. It does not mean you are failing. It just means your mind is used to that pattern. Stay calm, stay aware, and gently guide yourself back. Over time, the new path becomes your natural way of thinking. This is how old patterns fade, not through force, but through replacement. Not by fighting the old, but by choosing the new again and again. And slowly, without even realizing it, you begin to think in a different way, in a way that supports you, grows you, and moves you forward. Now, let's bring a little more depth into what you are speaking, because your words become even more powerful when you add feeling to them. It is not just about repeating the words, it is about allowing yourself to connect with them, even if it is only a small connection at first. You don't need to force strong emotions. Even a gentle sense of hope, a small feeling of peace, is enough to begin. When you speak your affirmations, try to slow down just a little. Let each word settle in your mind. Instead of rushing through them, allow yourself to feel what those words could mean for you. If you are saying something like, "I am becoming stronger," don't just say it. Pause for a moment and imagine what that strength feels like, even if it is very light. Your mind responds deeply to emotion. When you combine words with feeling, they begin to leave a stronger impression. They move from just being sounds in your head to becoming something you can actually experience. And this is where the shift starts to become more real. At first, the feeling may not be strong. It may come and go. That is completely okay. You are not trying to create perfection. You are simply allowing a small connection to grow. Over time, that small feeling becomes deeper. The words start to carry more meaning, and your mind begins to accept them more easily. So as you continue, speak with softness, with intention, and with a little bit of feeling. Let your words be more than just repetition. Let them become something you gently experience, because this is how your inner world begins to change, slowly, quietly, and in a way that truly stays. Now, something beautiful begins to happen when you stay consistent with this. You slowly start becoming a new version of yourself. It does not happen all at once. It is quiet, almost unnoticeable in the beginning, but your thoughts begin to change. The way you speak to yourself becomes softer, kinder, and more supportive. And without forcing it, your actions start to follow. You may notice that you react differently to situations that once felt overwhelming. You may feel a little more calm, a little more confident, even in small moments. These changes may seem simple, but they are powerful signs that something inside you is shifting. You are no longer guided by your old patterns in the same way. As you continue speaking these new words, they begin to feel like your own voice, not something you are trying to believe, but something that naturally comes from within you. This is how identity begins to change. You are not just repeating new thoughts anymore. You are becoming them. There is no need to rush or compare yourself to anyone else. Your journey is your own, and every small shift matters. Even if progress feels slow, it is still progress. You are building something real, something lasting, one thought at a time. So allow yourself to grow into this new version of you. Trust the small changes. Trust the quiet shifts. Because the person you are becoming is already forming within you, gently, steadily, and in a way that will stay with you. Now, let's come back to something very important, trusting the process. Sometimes, you may feel like nothing is changing. You may repeat these words and wonder if they are really making a difference. This is where many people stop. Not because it is not working, but because they cannot see the change yet. But change does not always happen on the surface first. It begins quietly, deep within your mind. Just because you cannot see it right now does not mean it is not happening. Every time you repeat your new words, something is shifting inside you. Your mind is listening, learning, and slowly accepting a new way of thinking. There will be days when it feels easy, and there will be days when it feels difficult. Both are part of the journey. You don't have to feel perfect every day. You don't have to believe every word completely. All you need to do is continue, gently and consistently. Trust grows when you stay with something, even when it feels uncertain. And the more you stay with this practice, the more you will begin to notice small changes. Maybe in your thoughts, maybe in your emotions, maybe in the way you see yourself. These small changes are signs that the process is working. So give yourself time. Be patient with your mind. You are not trying to force a result. You are allowing a transformation. And when you trust this process, you create space for real and lasting change to unfold in your life. Now, take a slow breath and just notice how you feel at this moment. You have given yourself this time, this space, to begin something new within you. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. You don't need to feel perfect or completely changed. What matters is that you have started. You have opened the door to a new way of thinking, a new way of speaking to yourself, and a new way of being. Remember, this is not about rushing or forcing anything. It is about gently returning to these words, again and again, until they begin to feel natural, until they begin to feel true. With time, your mind will follow. Your thoughts will shift, and your life will begin to reflect the new story you are choosing to believe. So keep going, even on the days when it feels quiet, even on the days when it feels slow. Trust that something is changing within you. Trust that you are moving forward, even if you cannot see it yet. You are creating a stronger, calmer, and more confident version of yourself, one thought at a time. If this message connects with you, take a moment to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and share it with someone who might need it today. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, to support your journey and remind you of the power you already have within you.